What is up? Welcome back to Outside the Top 25, where we run down the best games between the most mediocre teams. I'm your host, Rob Fox, joined as always by Dan Regester.
Football still going on?
I don't really follow it,
No.
so
I mean, it's Red October, so, well, for now at least.
we're like 2 weeks away from...
I'm also a game away from it not being Red October. I can't wait to come back and just shove it in your fucking face.
Oh, those bats are sleepy.
Oh, you're cheering for the Mets, huh?
The sleepy, sleepy bats. I don't have any Mets fans in my life.
You should hate the Mets.
I do, but I don't have any Mets fans in my life. And also the Mets, for what it's worth with the Mets, they never do anything to the Braves. They're always our victims. You know what I mean? The Phillies often beat the Braves.
Yeah, we beat your ass every time.
Not every time. It's fine.
Every time.
We have a World Series more recently.
COVID year.
And that year that we won the World Series, we swept your ass and
Also,
kept you out
cheated.
of the playoffs.
Cheated. Yeah, people forget that. Braves cheated.
But regardless of that, the Phillies are more adversarial. The Mets are just a victim.
You can't say New Yorkers are victims.
That part of their life is pure victim.
Only in September, not
Yeah.
in October.
Yeah, well, sometimes October too.
I guess it depends if they have two passports, you know?
I will say, yeah, September and October. I will say with the Mets too.
October 7th, by the way.
Yeah, it was a 9/11, October 7, double joke.
I have to explain it sometimes.
But anyway, we're not here to talk about the last day of Red October. We're here to talk.
It's not, though. I mean, this will air as either the Phillies are playing or after the game, and I'm confident. You know,
Yeah,
Ranger Suarez is on the bump. He's
Recording
fine.
this Wednesday. Well, you put it out tomorrow, probably?
Not put it out. Yeah, probably tomorrow. So probably Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah, so get ready for Game 5. Getting ready for Game 5. Ranger Suarez he went, if I was to guess, 6 innings, 1 run. Phillies bats wake up and score 5.
Sleepy Bryce, going to be a loser again.
Bullpen gives up a couple of runs. It gets kind of dicey there at the end. Phillies still pull it out 5-4.
Kyle Schwarber strikes out 5 times.
That's likely. Actually, he doesn't strike out too much anymore. Actually, for somebody who strikes out all the time, he's a great patient batter.
Contact hitter.
Yeah.
Because he does it on purpose. Because he sells out.
Yeah.
He
Goes home run, walk, strike.
Yeah, he sells out.
But he'll take a lot of pitches.
I know.
He'll
He's a good hitter.
Yeah.
But he sells out. Like when he swings or he's hunting like one thing, and if he doesn't get it, then he's like, I don't want to clog up the base paths with my fat ass. You know what I mean?
Especially as a leadoff hitter. But yeah, it's college football season, I guess. I don't really care for it.
Well, it hasn't been great for me either the last 7 days.
And the reason I'm stalling too is the games this week not great. Also, the slate might get wiped out, kind of like the majority of Florida, because there's a lot of Florida games.
Yeah.
I have no idea if UCF's going to play this weekend.
Is Tennessee at Florida or Florida at Tennessee?
It's at Tennessee.
It's at Tennessee.
That game's fine.
Although I think Gainesville's getting missed anyway, unless the storm moves.
Dude, it's huge. I have no idea.
It's not that big. Floridians are dramatic. Oh, the storm I can see coming from a mile away is coming. Oh, no. Try living in tornado country.
I would holster that take.
Try living in tornado country.
I would holster that take. You know, I didn't feel great when before Helene we were just talking about how hurricanes were no big deal on softcore. Because I was just talking about my experiences going through hurricanes in Florida.
Here's the thing, though, is that most of the time, they're not that big of a deal.
They aren't, but a Cat 5 is...
Sometimes they are, like Helene. But a lot of times, it's like it is the same thing as like a tornado.
We need a better name, though. Milton's a trash-ass name.
It's
You can't get wiped out by Milton.
You know what my favorite hurricane of all time is? Hurricane Andrew. From when I was a kid. That was that one. Just fucked shit up.
The one I remember as a kid was like Sandy.
Yeah, that was...
Because that went up the northeast.
Yeah, that hit like New York and shit.
Yeah, it hit
like
Philly
flooded
too.
the subways.
That was wild.
But hurricanes, it's like a tornado warning, right? Like most of the time a tornado touches down, it doesn't do anything. I mean, it like just fucks up trees and shit. But every once in a while, you get one hitting Joplin or Moore, Oklahoma.
This is a biblical hurricane.
Yeah, I know.
That they're saying the winds are going to feel like you're in an F3 tornado inside a hurricane.
Although, honestly, I feel like most of the time with the big hurricanes like Helene or Katrina, the death tolls are more than a tornado. But if you go with like a normal hurricane versus like a normal tornado, I feel like that hits a city or whatever.
Why are you trying to compare?
I feel like a tornado catches more bodies.
Tragedies. I don't think so. Hurricanes for sure have way more deaths and bodies than
the biggest hurricanes do. But like Hurricane Harvey, for example, that was a big one.
Katrina. It's like
I said Katrina.
4 digits.
But Hurricane Harvey, 107 people died, and that was like a huge one, right? If you go to the
tornadoes last for like 30 seconds. It's not a big deal. Hurricanes are days.
Whereas the Moore, Oklahoma tornado, not even going Joplin, not even pimping my own shit. Oh, it only killed 24. I think it was the Joplin one that killed a lot of people.
No, dude, none of them do. All the tornadoes kill like dozens of people. They don't kill hundreds of people.
No, the Joplin tornado killed 158 people.
That's not that many people. I
just said it was more than Harvey.
That's your thing. That's your high point for tornadoes is 150 people.
No,
you gotta get those numbers up.
I'm saying a tornado that hits a city is more dangerous than most hurricanes.
Just stop with your Midwest bullshit. Like, hurricanes are a far superior storm. Just because you hate the University of Miami.
I do. We don't
have to compare and
look,
contrast
earthquakes are the ones that can't catch the real bodies. But
yeah. Especially when they call tsunamis.
Yeah. Actually, tsunamis, you want to talk about. You don't talk about natural disasters getting bodies.
But the tsunami always follows like the Japanese earthquake.
But those are like underwater though. They don't do anything.
I would tell you to go look up some of the major natural disasters in Japan. It's always a huge earthquake that is followed by a tsunami.
I know, but
hundreds of thousands of people.
I don't remember the Japan one, but the big tsunami, the 05 one, was triggered by
I'm talking about like the 20s.
Okay. I'm talking about the recent-ish one. I forget what caused the Japan tsunami.
That was
or how close the earthquake was. But
that also caused a nuclear meltdown.
Yeah, but
now we have the radioactive pigs. We have the hogs.
It's pretty sweet. But the 2005 tsunami was like an underwater earthquake in the middle of the ocean. So the earthquake itself didn't really fuck with anybody.
You don't know shit about any natural disasters.
I know shit about all. I'm literally right about that. What are you talking? I just said an accurate statement. And you're up my ass about it.
But you're trying to act like this is no big deal. I'm telling you, fucking Milton's a bitch, and in the worst way.
No, I agree with you. Milton's a bitch.
Milton's
Dan Rogesti said it here first.
Milton's gonna suck. So thoughts to everybody in Florida. Hope you got out. Hope you went north or south.
I think they all got out. I was talking to my friend in Tampa today. She said she got out.
My uncle and aunt are hunkering down in Tampa.
Hell yeah.
They're like, we ain't leaving. I'm like, we should leave.
I mean, if they're elevated, I guess.
No.
They live in the bottom of a swamp.
They live in a gated community, but they're not leaving.
Is it a gated community on a hill?
There's no hills in Florida. What are you talking about?
Gated community on a hill?
No. It's a flat piece. It's a flat state. There are no hills. Have you been to Florida?
Yeah, it sucked.
All right. Anyway, let's get into our picks from last week. I went 11-11, 500, 0-1 on my money line dogs. You went 8-12. You're starting to crash back.
Can't have this.
0-1 on your money line dog. I didn't pick up. I mean, I guess I technically picked up 3 games on you, but on my overall 500 record, I picked up nothing.
It's not enough.
So I'm 49, 59-1 on the season. 3-4 on my money line dogs. Rob is 60, 46-2, 2-4 on his money line dogs. Don't overlook that.
Yeah. You're just a little bit less under 500 on the money line dogs. You're probably in the money.
Week 7,
3-4. You're probably plus money on the. You're probably in the black.
I think all my money line dogs were like always plus 120, 130. So no, probably not. Yeah, the slate is pretty weak this week. Outside. I mean, there's some really good top 25 games.
Yeah.
We're kind of like, all right, we get the leftovers. We get a little. I will start with Coastal. Coastal's catching 10 at JMU, over under 60.5. JMU coming off A season-ending loss
Disappointing.
to UL Monroe.
My gosh. How do you let
General
that
Beatty.
happen?
I mean, JMU's just not what they were.
I mean, I don't know, man. You dropped
JMU
70 on goddamn North Carolina. Like, you're something.
Yeah, but I remember early in the season they struggled against Charlotte, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Whatever aura JMU had, like obviously they're still a good program, but that aura went to Indiana.
Yeah, I would agree with
That
that.
mystique,
I would
the
mostly
fucking
agree with
firepower,
that. Yeah.
that's that. And also Texas State with McLeod.
Yeah.
Transfer.
They lost a little bit. But man, their wins, most of their wins anyway. I don't think the Charlotte game, the Gardner-Webb game is even worse somehow. 13-6, good Lord.
Also Coastal. What are you at this point?
Ah, boy. They used to be something. I mean, their only loss is to Virginia. It
It was the COVID year too. It was
P4
weird.
team. Yeah.
Remember they scheduled the BYU game in a week?
Oh, last second, which is sweet.
That was. We should do that more.
Yeah, I like that. It's like a UFC fight or something. You just like put it together
Last
second.
minute, yeah.
This is a tough
fighter.
read. I don't.
Over under 60.5. Do you think Grayson McCall wishes he stayed at Coastal?
Where'd he go again?
NC State.
Yes. I mean, he can't be having a good time at NC State.
He's injured, but yeah.
Man, this is tough. It seems like JMU either dumps it in or just completely the wheels fall off their offense. 21 or 19.
I'm gonna ride with Coastal. Coastal in the points. 10.
Taking 10. Yeah, I agree. I just it seems like that's just too inconsistent from JMU.
And now JMU, like, you have nothing to play for.
Yeah,
You had hopes and aspirations for the playoffs.
maybe they come out angry, but I don't know, man.
All that steam is just
Yeah,
it's a giant queef now. So I mean, I could see JMU dropping a couple games this year now,
yeah, totally.
just because the wind's out of their sails.
They're just bummed. Like, you have to be perfect.
You have to be perfect when you're like Sunbelt.
Granted, against that schedule, it shouldn't be that hard, but I guess it is what it is. Anyone can jump up and bite you.
Yeah. Next up, we got Washington traveling to Iowa. Over-under is 41.5. Washington is catching 2.5. Washington coming off a huge win against Michigan. Little revenge spot. Iowa, held their own for the first half against Ohio State.
Yeah.
Only down 7-0. Things got away from them because, they can't move the ball, as is tradition in Iowa.
No, they can't. Well, I mean, they've had some decent offensive games this year, actually.
But, I mean, not really.
Yes, they scored
They've
31.
scored 31. Is that a lot?
Yeah.
Is that a lot of points?
Yes. Their 31 against Minnesota is solid. And honestly, 19 against Iowa State is fine for Iowa. And like 38 against Troy. Troy's not great or anything.
Sucks.
Troy's not great or anything like that. But last year, 2 years ago, Iowa not dropping 38 on anybody.
Iowa should be able to, like, the teams that they did drop 30 points on, 30-plus points,
Yeah.
they should be able to dominate those lines, and they did, right? Like, you should be able to just run the ball down Troy's throat.
Well, I'm taking Iowa, and I'll tell you why. Washington, this game starts at 9 o'clock on their body times.
Yeah.
9 in the morning. They lost to Rutgers, also making a west-east trip, which was a night game for them, mercifully, and it still didn't work out. I'll take Iowa here.
I will take the under, 41.5. This has all the makings of like a 17-13 game.
Yeah, this game is going to be sleepy as fuck. I mean, those Washington players are going to be waking up probably at like 4 in the morning, like what their bodies will think is like 3 in the morning.
I imagine they've been in Iowa City for a couple days.
I don't
They'll get
care.
used to it.
It takes a minute. No, you usually get there like the day before. You do.
We'll
you
see.
usually get there like
We'll
the day
see.
before.
If I was Jed Fish, I would just, all right, we're going Monday.
I agree, but that's not what happens.
We're going to practice. Plus, who knows what the travel schedule. You've seen the hurricane on the horizon. Obviously it's not going to touch the Midwest, but it's probably going to fuck up travel all throughout the country.
They fly private.
You think Washington flies private?
Yes. Missouri flies private. I guarantee you Washington flies private.
Okay. I mean, some of the programs can't afford to fly
They're
private.
chartering. They're 100% chartering.
You don't think they're flying Spirit?
No. Well, maybe they're chartering a Spirit, but they have their own plane. They're not trying to catch a fucking Delta flight. That's not what's happening.
I mean, that's fair, yeah. Next up, we got Wisconsin catching 2.5 at Rutgers. The over-under is 40.5.
Oof.
Rutgers coming off, a really solid but disappointing loss to Nebraska. Defense was there. But, seems to be a struggle to put up points as well. Shiano Men, he's going to try to run the ball down your throat. Wisconsin had a little bit of a coming out party. They dumped it in last week.
All right, sure. Against Purdue. Give me Rutgers holding serve at home.
I also believe Rutgers will get this dub. They will cover the 2.5.
There's, truly no shame in losing a road game at Nebraska, and a game Nebraska kind of needed to win.
Yeah,
that
was Rutgers' first loss too.
Yeah, they're 4-1. I got no problem with that.
This will be gross. This will be ugly. I will take Rutgers, and I will also take the under.
Another under. All right.
Yeah. Next up, Georgia Tech -6 at North Carolina. The over/under is 58.5.
Oof, I got
Mac Brown. Is this his final year, you think?
Dude, this is kind of, I know we always shit on Texas fans for wanting to punt on Mac Brown being so frustrating, Mac Brown being maybe checked out a little bit or whatever. I don't know that was necessarily true, although they did say it was after 2009. After Colt McCoy got hurt in the championship game, he was never the same, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they watched the team more closely than I do. I still thought they were ungrateful, but he's not there anymore. Not dementia wise, but he's just
it's kind of like Gus Malzahn at UCF. Kind of seems like a retirement gig. Just it's his hobby. It's not his job.
Right. Yeah. I just Mac had those 2 years at North Carolina where maybe something was going to happen. That's over now.
He had 2 really good quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And Sam Howell and then Drake May.
But now you're into the weeds of building a program. You know what I mean? Having to reset and
he's a fun players coach,
rebuild.
but he's
the UT players I knew under Mac Brown loved Mac Brown. I mean,
all the players love Mac Brown. It's just, does he care to get out there and get the big time recruits?
He's 73 years old. No. It's over.
Maybe he'll get a flashy guy at receiver, running back.
Well, quarterback, he seems to.
But I don't know if he can
recruit,
get that interior, that line.
No, he's not. He's absolutely not.
That offensive line when they had Sam Howell and Drake May was atrocious.
Yeah, and that's the thing at Texas. I don't necessarily. They didn't have they had good lines. I feel like under Mac Brown at Texas, but Texas lines kind of recruit themselves. You just walk out the door in Texas and you find giants.
You find a hoss.
Yeah, you don't do that in the Carolinas, in Appalachia.
No. This is a tough one, though.
I don't have a good read on this.
I'll take North Carolina to cover. Georgia Tech's fine, right? They're going to, exactly what they are.
Yeah.
They're going to try to run the ball.
Tech is a 6-point favorite, you said?
Mm-hmm. They covered against Duke last week. Barely.
Yeah. I mean, a loss at Louisville.
And if you got it on Saturday, they pushed because it got to 10 points. But Georgia Tech, on the road. North Carolina maybe has a little bit more oomph for this game. They're 500. You want to get above 500. Maybe punch back. Mac's last kind of hoorah.
Man, North Carolina's on a 3-game losing streak. This is stop the bleeding or it's a free fall at this point.
Yeah.
And who do they have after this? At Virginia, at Florida State, 2 winnable games. Wake Forest, winnable. Boy, this would have been a good year for Mac Brown to have a good team looking at this schedule. Good Lord. This is horrible.
Especially you're catching Florida State down and out.
Yeah. They would have liked that Drake May year back. I just fuck it, I'll take Georgia Tech just to be different. I have no read on this game. UNC, I just feel like it's over. The wheels are off for North Carolina.
Right.
That'd be my guess if I had.
Next up, we got your Toledo Rockets -9.5 traveling
all the way up to
Buffalo.
Buff. Yeah.
Over under is 44.5.
Lost some money on Toledo last week.
No, you won. They covered.
That's right. Maybe
Toledo
it was,
won by 10.
Okay, yeah. They
It
did
was
cover.
a 6.5-point dog, or
Yeah.
they're 6.5-point favorite. Don't worry, I did it. I go back and look at all the records. I make sure.
Appreciate it.
Check it twice.
Boy, Buffalo. What happened? 47-3 loss to UConn.
UConn maybe not so bad with Jim Mora.
I guess. And they beat, the mighty Northern Illinois Huskies or whatever the
did.
fuck they are.
Maybe classic letdown spot.
Yeah. Toledo, low-key horse. I mean, they lost to Western Kentucky, who's not bad.
Western Kentucky's fine.
And it was at Western Kentucky.
But the game's at Buffalo. I will take the points.
Taking the points. Let's see here.
Again, this slate is awful.
It's pretty whatever.
That's why this game's on it.
Give me Toledo and the over, actually. The over-under is really low.
All right. Then we got Louisville, minus 7.5. At Virginia, the over-under is 54.5. Virginia having a sneaky good year.
Sneaky okay year. 4-1. Sheesh. Where'd
But
that come from?
This just kind of seems like a spot where Louisville they're just a better team. Like they got more dudes, more talent.
I didn't get to watch or even really look into the Boston College game. I know Tommy Castellanos was back.
Virginia kind of came storming back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, storming back from what? Boston College only scored fucking 14
I think
points.
BC went up 14-0.
Okay.
Yeah. They scored like 24 unanswered or something. Louisville, though, shook. I mean, they were in that SMU game. It's kind of a disappointing loss at home.
Disappointing back-to-back losses, especially after the Notre Dame loss, especially.
But, I don't think Braum ever's the kind of guy that will lose a locker room. You lose two straight.
I still think that's the right hire for that school,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's a great. I think they're going to be fine long term.
Is this or is this not the XFL? All right, then. Yeah, give me the Cardinals. Give me Louisville to cover 7.5. I don't think this is going to be particularly close. I think they win by 2-3 scores.
Yeah, I'll take Louisville. I'll also take the over again. Got to catch up to you picking all these unders and shit. Yeah, I feel like this is 54.5. Louisville might truly drop like 40 today.
All right. Here's a game that might not happen since C+3 at UCF.
This game ain't happening.
Over-under is 59.5.
How is this game going to happen?
Disney's going to be flooded. I guess there's people who have no idea the hurricane's coming. I was just looking at like Facebook groups and stuff, and they're planning their trips to Disney on Thursday.
Oh, my wife was telling me before I got here about like all these influencers that had like Disney trips planned, and they just didn't cancel them. They're like, fuck the hurricane, and now they're like in downtown Disney, getting supplies for their
For the hurricane.
for their fucking hotels or whatever. I don't even know, but yeah,
That's a nightmare.
is it? They said there's no lines. Maybe the best time to go to Disney World is right before a hurricane.
Right before.
Yeah.
And then maybe when the eye is right above you, you get that nice calmness.
Man, that'd be kind of sick to go on a roller coaster in a hurricane, right?
No.
No? No.
Go to Universal, go to the Velocicopter, just fly off.
Assuming this game happens, I like UCF.
Why? What is there to like about my school right now? We're in free fall. Gus is retired essentially.
Gotta win one
Xavier Townsend just transferred. He's just like I'm done. After that Colorado game, he's like, I don't want to be your return man. I don't want to be your number 2 receiver. I'm out.
Since he sucks.
Since he has been much better than I thought they would be. We suck.
Nah. I mean, yeah, a little, but like not.
No, we do.
You're not as bad as you say.
I didn't want to pick us last week against Florida. I knew it was going to happen. And I still did it.
Actually, since these 2 losses are pretty close.
To Pitt and
At Texas Tech, they've lost by a combined.
those are good losses.
They've lost by a combined 4 points. Cincinnati could truly. Actually, I gotta switch this. Yeah, I'll take Cincinnati money line dog.
I'm glad I could talk you out of that. Yeah, fuck it. Until they prove otherwise, I will take Cincy, and I will take them as my moneyline dog as well.
By the way, where we making?
I'm also going to take the under.
Okay, where are we making these picks?
Because we just can't fucking score because KJ sucks.
Yes, making these picks at mybookie.com.
Yeah.
That's where you bet against your own team if you hate them, like Dan does.
I'll still
I'm
watch
like a
it.
week away, 2 weeks away from that. Not there yet. But
I will still watch.
Oh, yeah.
Ross is just like, how can you watch your teams when they're so poor? And I'm like, because I went to school there, man.
Right.
Because that's what I do.
Right.
I get up every Saturday with a glimmer of hope in my eye, whether or not I believe in this team or not. And then they constantly let me down. And that's just, it kind of prepares you for the rest of life.
Yeah, it does. Because even though it doesn't, you think it says something about yourself.
Right. Like, I'm a fucking hard working, blue collar,
Failure.
lunch pail kind of guy.
Who will never make it.
But that's the majority of society.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
The whole country is a casino, and you're just hoping to hit it big one day. And you just continue to kind of like log in the hours, put in the work, and it amounts typically to nothing. But there's that one chance you were there from the fucking start, from the fucking bottom, and you moved all the way to maybe a playoff exit.
Yeah. Just the dignity of being in the room. Yeah. MyBookie.com is where you can bet on teams like that and more. Go to MyBookie.com, use the promo code Drinking Bros to double your first deposit up to $1,000. If you are a regular customer at MyBookie.com, then you are in their automatically in their VIP program, MyBookie Plus, where for every dollar you bet, you will get at least one reward point. So if it's like a straight bet, you get 1 point per dollar. If it's a part of a parlay, I think it's like 3x on the points, so on and so forth. And that earns you a lot of perks in MyBookie with betting and like buyback stuff, all kinds of stuff. All the details in actual like full detail are in our Facebook group on Drinking Bros Sports on Facebook. But yeah, MyBookie Plus at MyBookie.com is a great way to get rewarded for being a MyBookie customer. And if you are a first-timer, promo code Drinking Bros will double your first deposit up to $1,000. Go to our Facebook group in Drinking Bros Sports on Facebook to check out the full details of that.
Yep. And let's get back to that point, though. I know I'm wearing a Clemson jersey right now. Somebody sent it in. Nice listener.
Yeah.
It's a signed DJ.
Ukulele
jersey. If you want to send in jerseys to the studio, I will wear it.
Anytime.
I'm kind of on a jersey kick right now, just wearing stuff. Somebody, I believe, sending me a Patrick Waugh Avalanche jersey.
That's rad.
At least they told me that in the chat, so that'd be dope.
Patrick
If you want
Waugh
to send me any hockey sweater, especially, I will wear the shit out of those.
Dude, Patrick Waugh is my favorite goalie of all time.
I have a line. I will not wear Pittsburgh Penguins stuff.
Not a Pens guy?
It's like the one team I hate.
Yeah. I mean,
I truly hate in hockey is the Penguins.
Never put on any Kansas shit, so.
Yeah. So there's a line. I won't rock Pittsburgh Penguin gear. I can't really rock Cowboy shit.
Yeah.
And I can't rock South Florida. But I don't even know if you can buy South Florida jerseys.
It's not for sale.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the majority of college football. I don't understand not liking teams because they lose a game or two. Like, just giving up on your squad.
I'm
giving up. Like, you like to see the growth. You like to kind of see the ups and downs, the roller coaster ride that is college
football. You learn the sport better that way, certainly. I mean, and there's like Thursday's kind of whatever. There's some great games on Friday that have, like, I'm interested in Northwestern Maryland. I'm certainly interested in UNLV, Utah State.
And who cares if the fucking games have implications or not? It's football.
Well, it's college football, so the games always have implications for someone.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas in the NFL, they just don't. I don't care if you think they do, they don't.
Oh, no, the Chiefs, they skated by another Week 5 game, barely got through. What does this mean? They're probably going to win the Super Bowl again. I don't know, man. Like, nothing matters.
And
you
I find the Chiefs...
You get in, and it's a roll of the dice with professional sports. But
when
it comes to college, you just want to... Sometimes you just want to feel good on a Thursday or Friday.
Exactly. Watching kids have fun.
Get a
little... And make more money than you now.
Yeah, or get upset. It's a dopamine spike either way.
It is.
Just be irrationally angry at mediocre squads or just get that little bump of happiness.
And then bring that energy to your family.
Always bring it to your family.
Yeah.
Always bring it to your family. Where are we? San Jose State, speaking of meaningless games, -1.5 at Colorado State. The over-under is 56.5. Although San Jose State maybe still in the playoff picture, in the Mountain West picture. Only losses to Wazoo.
Which
in
totally
overtime.
Fine.
Yeah.
I mean, So here's the thing.
Colorado State just gave Oregon State a really good game. Went to overtime as well.
I think it's the top 5. It's just the top 5 conference champions. I'd have to double check this, but
it doesn't matter. We don't have to discuss this again.
I'm just saying though, you might not even have to be that good of a G6 champion if all the G6 champions kind of suck that year.
I think your conference just needs to be respected in the G5 community or something. I think we regard the Mountain West as probably far and away the best.
I would think so, yeah.
With Boise, with UNLV, they have a little bit more cachet than the American.
Yes.
Where Tulane's probably the best team in the American right now, and they have 2 losses already. So
Right. It's going to be tough for them. I mean, granted, those 2 losses are to fucking K-State and Oklahoma.
Right.
And we literally would not keep an SEC or Big Ten team with 2 losses out of the playoff if those were the quality of losses.
We'll see how Oklahoma, pans out.
I agree.
And Kansas State could still win the Big 12.
Yeah.
So I mean, for sure, Tulane's still very much alive for the playoff, but the fucking bye. The Mountain West is alive for the bye.
Yeah.
Because if Boise just wins out, if they just roll everyone run the table, you have a Heisman candidate, and you have that your one loss is a very close loss to Oregon, you can get that bye.
I agree.
Especially over a Big 12 team or an ACC team.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Easily. Yeah. Boise State at this point should be playing for a bye.
Yeah.
Their only losses to Oregon.
But their schedule isn't, it's not a cupcake schedule.
No, it's not.
They're not outside the top 25, but let's talk about it. They're going to roll Hawaii this week. UNLV, that's going to be awesome that's in 2 weeks, actually. They have a bye.
Yeah.
Then they got UNLV. San Diego State is whatever. Nevada's whatever. San Jose State's a tough game at San Jose State. And then they finish with Oregon State.
Ooh. That's a legit schedule.
Yeah.
There are ACC teams with worse schedules than that.
Oh, yeah.
Unquestionably.
North Carolina.
Yeah, for real, dude. It's so bad.
This line's weird.
Why? Because it should be bigger?
San Jose State should be a bigger favorite.
Yeah, I'll take San Jose State. And I'll take the over as well.
Okay. You're taking the over as well.
I'm cheering for points today.
It seems that way. I will also... I'll take Colorado State, actually. Just catch in 1.5. I'll make them my money line dog as well.
Okay.
That line just tells me they're sniffing it out, Colorado State all the way.
Next up, we've got Memphis at South Florida. The once mighty Bulls hosting the Tigers. Another team.
Probably not, though.
Oh, yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah, they're in Tampa. This game is 100% not happening. Damn, because I like that line, too.
I don't know how it's still, not postponed or rescheduled.
Yeah. Or
moved.
Yeah, move it to Memphis or some shit. Good Lord.
Granted, I know you can't at Raymond James Stadium, put cots down.
Yeah.
Because it's an open stadium. It's not like
maybe.
the Trop. Dude, how fucked up do you think the Trop's going to get?
So it was on Friday. It's been rescheduled for Saturday at 3:30.
3 p.m.?
Yeah.
I guess they couldn't do Sunday if the Bucks play.
There's no way the Bucks are playing at home Sunday, are they?
I don't know.
I think they're not there. The Buccaneers' next home game, they're at the Saints this week.
Okay, so it would make more sense. Why don't you just schedule it off to a Sunday?
Right. It's not like it's going to affect the polls. But assuming this game does go down, Memphis all day.
Okay, I'll go South Florida if they do play. I know they got rammed.
Going to win one for their fans.
No, I just don't think they're that bad. Tulane might just be really fucking good.
Yeah. Memphis obviously lost to Navy.
South Florida's losses are to Alabama.
Yeah.
And Tulane.
It's fair.
And yeah.
That's fair. I still love Memphis there. Memphis has been more or less rolling.
Also Miami. They got rolled by Miami. But, who hasn't gotten rolled
They
by
got
Miami?
rolled really bad by Miami. Really, really bad.
They got quality. The 3 Most quality losses I've seen on the schedule.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Great losses for South Florida. Probably a borderline playoff team.
That used to matter in 2017.
It did.
Yeah. I remember Mississippi State fans always told me that.
Good losses matter.
Because they kept putting 3-loss Mississippi State in front of undefeated UCF.
Wait, wasn't that Dak, though?
No.
That was after Dak? Oh, Dak was like 14, 15, I think.
Yeah, this was 2017. This was, if I was trying to think, who was the
But it
quarterback?
was pre-Leach, though, wasn't it?
No, Leach was there.
Leach was there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mississippi State. It was, if I was, oh no, it was Mullen. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think Leach was there yet. Yeah, he was at Wazoo.
You're right. It was Mullen. Damn. I miss Leach, though.
R.I.P.
I can't believe Leach is dead.
It's so odd.
It's
but
upsetting.
Also not odd.
He was on the TV at the gym last night. They were interviewing him about Pirates.
Why?
It was just an old interview.
All right.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to go South Florida. You're going Memphis.
Yeah. I mean, that game's canceled, but
Yeah. Well, speaking of Leach, though, Wazoo -3.
I know. At Fresno State.
61.5. There's a lot of respect on Fresno this year, and they have not pulled through. Any tough adversary they had, they just get wrecked.
Yeah. I mean, they're 3-2, but
I'm going to go Wazoo.
who have they beaten here? Okay, they lost to Michigan, respectably, to be honest, at Michigan. UNLV
Got destroyed by UNLV.
beat the shit out of them. And the rest of their schedule is dog shit. You got to go Wazoo here.
They did have a bye, if that changes your opinion.
No, Wazoo -3. I love that.
Then we got Arkansas State. This shouldn't be on the slate, but it is. +14 at Texas State. The over-under is 63.5.
Why shouldn't this be on the slate?
Give me the Bobcats. It's a big line, and it's not a good game. Texas State's going to roll.
I mean, why is the line so small then?
14? That's not a small
Not
line.
small, but if you think if Arkansas State sucks, which they don't really. I mean, they're 3-2. Their losses are to Michigan and Iowa State. Solid win over South Alabama. Beat Tulsa. Nah, man. Nah, dog.
You feeling the Wolves?
Give me the points.
There you go. Oregon State coming off a squeaky win against Colorado State. Didn't look great, but pulled it through in overtime.
How are you supposed to just get up for Colorado State, you know?
They're -4. Oregon State has a path as well still to the playoff.
Yeah, but they need to start plowing through that path. They can't just be winning by 7 against Colorado State. Or,
Yeah, but if they won by 9, put some respect on it.
8, actually.
Or 8, I'm sorry.
Split the diff there.
Because they had the 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
No, if Oregon State wins out, they're in, right? They're 11-1. They'll play Boise. They'll play UNLV.
I think they should be if they win out. What a year to have a soft schedule. I mean, Nevada's...
They would beat Wazoo as well. They win the Pac-2.
Yeah. Nevada's not good. What is the line here? Oregon State -4? Yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Oregon State's definitely taking this by 4. There's some solid-ass games here.
Yeah, I'll go Oregon State as well. I still have that ticket 16-1 to make the playoff. Still alive and
That's
well.
solid. That's fucking good.
Still alive and
Yeah.
well. Yeah. But, I mean, they do have the tough meat of their schedule left. They got UNLV, Cal, San Jose State, Washington State, Boise. That's tough.
That's a great schedule, though. That's a tough schedule. Again, there are ACC teams that do not have a stretch anywhere near that difficult all fucking year.
Playing at Cal's tough. Playing at Boise's really tough.
Yeah.
10 year.
And then San Jose State's feisty.
And then would they play a conference championship against
Pac-2?
Wazoo?
I hope so.
Is that going to happen?
I would say it's in no one's best interest for it to happen.
Right. They already play each other on the schedule.
Yeah.
November 23rd.
You got to just think whoever that is the de facto conference champion.
I'm going to hope that they play each other twice.
Okay.
Just like, all right, who's going to win the Pac-2? Or could they participate in the Mountain West Championship?
I think they're independent this year.
Yeah, it's like an alliance.
Right. An alliance that they then broke and plundered. A real Trojan horse.
They really did. They still have the conference.
Good Lord.
And then Gonzaga as well
Yeah.
for basketball.
Good for you, Gonzaga. It doesn't matter where Gonzaga plays.
Honestly, no. It's like they're a 1 seed rolling through they're in the WAC for a second.
Yeah, they get their meat out of the non-con, and then honestly, St. Mary's is good fairly regularly, but the rest of that conference, fucking awful anyway, so who cares?
Here's probably the biggest game on our slate.
This is crazy.
Vandy plus 13.5 at Kentucky.
No fucking way.
The over-under is 46.5. I think this line tells you everything you need to know.
That Vandy still stinks?
Or Vegas thinks they do.
Yeah.
I don't know if they do, though. They
don't.
They might be good.
They don't. They are not 13.5 points worse than Kentucky.
You got Jerry Kills, a consultant.
Vandy. I don't know if Vandy's going to win.
He doesn't run a bad program.
Vandy probably won't win. But no, they're not going to lose. They're not going to get killed by Kentucky.
Do you think that Kentucky just shuts down Pavia?
No. Not at all.
He's a running quarterback. They just did this Jackson Dart. Maybe that's kind of like the logic. It's like they shut down a much better quarterback who does a lot of the similar elements that Pavia does.
Okay, Jackson Dart, unambiguously better than Pavia. But is he feistier?
He's not feistier, no. He doesn't want it more.
Exactly.
Pavia's got a bigger heart.
He does. Pavia's going to get you that extra 2 yards that Jackson doesn't, right? Vandy, come on. I don't know if they're going to win or anything, but yeah, Vandy in the points, 100%.
Did you see, so they threw the goalpost and they marched it 3 miles, threw it
to
in the river.
Yeah.
They then unearthed it or got it from the submerged water.
Yeah.
And started cutting it up, and they're selling pieces of the goalpost.
Did your school not do that?
My school has not ever sold the goalpost. No.
Oh, well, so we don't sell them, but we do. A lot of schools do this. You take the goalpost, march it somewhere. We tear them down. We march them to the bar Harpo's, and then they don't sell them, but they'll just start sawing it. And if you're nearby, if you're close enough, you can just get a piece.
Okay. I don't think we've had a big enough win at home to do that.
Fair enough.
When we opened the stadium, we barely lost to Texas. That probably would have been the moment.
I believe
we lost by like a last-second field goal to Texas.
Our last goalpost tear down. So we've rushed the field last year when Memphis hit it that 61-yarder.
But you're Mizzou. I don't know if you want to set the precedent that you tear down goalposts because it should be expected.
We beat number 1 Oklahoma, so that's why.
Okay.
And College Game Day was there that weekend.
That makes more sense.
Yeah. It is not. Now, we used to do it more when we were Mizzou. Like, the goalpost got torn down, I think, like 2 or 3 times while I was in school because we beat Nebraska back when they were in Nebraska. But, yeah, not anymore, really.
Yeah, I don't know what to think here. Also, one of the worst takes I saw online was just all the students marching the goalpost and fucking everyone makes everything political and they're like, bunch of white kids marching goalposts down the fucking street and nobody says anything. It's like, yeah, because they're not causing any destruction. They took one thing from the stadium
and marched.
They're having a little parade
and cheered.
And they're throwing it into the river.
Look, I'll listen to that all day about Penn State kids lighting the town on fire over Joe Paterno, I guess. But like,
no destruction otherwise.
They weren't. Yeah, no one's looting a Target.
No.
What are you talking about? It's fucking different.
It's way different. But like, yeah, people getting takes off.
Yeah, you gotta clack those takes off. Again, like there are times when that's a valid take, like the Penn State thing.
Or
they were like flipping vans.
A Canadian
and shit.
hockey team loses a Stanley Cup, they just light their city on fire.
Yeah. But that Vandy one ain't one of them.
Plus, you're essentially saying that only white kids go to Vandy. It's not true.
Probably not true. Couldn't say.
Yeah, I'll just ride with the hot hand. I think it's probably a big letdown spot here. Kentucky wins the game, but Vandy covers. They lose by 10.
Yeah.
Next up, we got Syracuse. Kyle McCord coming off probably the most prolific game of his career.
I would say
63 throws.
It's the most prolific amount of passes, certainly.
It is. He has the most attempts of any quarterback this year. So -4.5 at NC State, who's a total mess. The over/under is 54.5.
Man, what happened to NC State? It was kind of weird they started the year ranked, just because I feel like they ran out of teams to rank.
Well, no, they had Grayson McCall. He's a name. He's a quarterback. People are like, oh, I know who he is.
Yeah.
You just rank people you know.
But they've beaten Western Carolina, Louisiana Tech, and Northern Illinois.
Yep, I'll go Syracuse all day.
What's the line?
4.5.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. It is a road game, but I don't care enough.
And then to kind of finish things out, we got Minnesota minus 5.5 off a big win against USC. At UCLA, the over-under is 40.5. UCLA having a really hard time this year.
Tough sledding for
I'll take the under.
for the Bruins.
There's going to be this is probably the worst game of the week.
It's gross. I will say this, though. Man, 4-game losing streak for UCLA. But, people always say, like, oh, college football is better when this team's good, when that team's good. I like UCLA.
I do too.
I
But,
wish UCLA was good.
They were, and then Chip was like, I don't want to be a coach anymore. And then just kind of left them with their dick in a hand.
Yeah. I will grant, though, UCLA 1-4, tough look. They probably played the toughest schedule in the country.
Run through it real quick.
So at Hawaii is their win, week 1.
On the road at Hawaii, the island.
Week 2, Indiana.
It's tough.
Week 3, at LSU.
Yeah.
Week 4, Oregon.
Week 5, Penn State.
Week 5 at Penn State.
Yeah.
That's the toughest. No one has played a harder schedule in the country than UCLA.
You talked me into it. Give me the under and UCLA to cover.
I kind of like UCLA to cover, too. I do. They played a brutal schedule. Literally, there's no way anyone's played a harder schedule than that.
No. Just Oregon and Penn State alone.
Yeah.
Plus, Indiana's really sneaky. Yeah.
Indiana is ranked now. Mm-hmm. So that means after Hawaii, they have only played ranked teams.
All right. Do you have an extra game?
Yeah, let me go look through the slate here.
There are quite a few options I left off. So start Thursday. Obviously tonight. As we're recording, we got New Mexico State, Jacksonville State.
Northwestern Maryland is fun.
Mm-hmm. UNLV, Utah State.
Boy, Army, UAB. That's a big line.
It's a huge line for Army.
That is a
26?
big line for Army. I
think they do cover it, though.
I feel.
Should we just ride the troops until they buck us?
I was looking at that line the other day and wondering about it, and I kind of like the over better.
What's the over-under?
50.
For the folks at home.
It's 50 something. 54.5.
Damn. There's so many. App State, Louisiana.
So Army would have hit that over last week, the week before. 40, 47, 50. Not that week. Okay, so they would have hit it the last 2 weeks, basically. I guess the question is, can UAB do their part on and over?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't love it. I don't want to rely on UAB and fucking Trent Dilfer.
Here we go. I got it.
Okay.
Give me Bowling Green. -3 at home against Northern Illinois. Same Northern Illinois team that beat Notre Dame.
Love that.
Give me Bowling Green -3.
That loss for Notre Dame is going to look worse and worse.
Yep,
and worse.
but that win against Texas A&M is only going to get better. It's going
Yeah.
to keep aging well.
Okay, I got one for you that I find interesting. It tells me, I guess, more than anything, that this team might not be as bad as their record indicates. But UNT is a 6.5-point favorite on the road at Florida Atlantic. UNT's wins have all been humongous.
What's the line again?
6.5.
6.5.
Florida Atlantic, I will grant they have 3 losses. Definitely 2 of them are to solid to good teams, and then the other one, I guess, we're waiting to see. They lost to Michigan State. They lost to Army.
Do you think FAU is full of bad guys?
Isn't Herman their coach right now?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Do you think they passed the hydration test with their piss?
No.
Do you think they're pissing brown, pissing yellow, or pissing
Also,
clear?
Florida Atlantic, where is actually this?
Boca.
So they're fine?
It's South Florida, so yeah, they should be okay.
Okay. Let me pick another one just in case. Yeah, let me find one more.
You're going to hit a provisional?
Yeah.
All right.
Because I forgot. I wasn't even thinking about that. It is a night game on Saturday, though, so it's probably getting
They'll
played.
probably play it, yeah.
Yeah.
And I imagine it's not going to hit Miami, Boca, West Palm.
No. Let's see. What else we got here? I'm running out of shit.
There's not a lot of games. A lot of people off this week.
Yeah. God, that's such a big spread for UNLV. But goddamn, Utah State is pretty bad. Temple ran through. I'll take UNLV.
Minus 18?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's outside for this week.
For Dan Jester, I'm Ron Fox.
Later.
See you later.